Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com and also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. A 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Young Blue's in the house. What's up, Young Blue? If you love music, if you need some music for your page, check out Young Blue, guys, at youngblue.music. He'll make some music for you. Podcast, what is that? The Bullying Podcast. Thank you for joining the show. That's a new name. Thank you, guys, for joining the show. So, a few of my Australian friends have been sending me information on what possibly can talk about on the show. I need your guys' help. I haven't been doing a lot of shows in 2021, I know, and I'm sorry. And it's because I really don't have the time like I had before to look up topics and talk about it. So please, in the comment section of any of our posts, put in some ideas that you guys want to talk about. Okay, so a couple of friends of mine wants me to talk about and give my opinion about these riots that occurred in 2015, I think, in Australia. Now, I know there's going to be some Australian people that are going to say, you can't talk about this because you're an American. Well, I know racism, okay? So because of that, it doesn't matter where the racism is happening. I think that anyone who's experienced racism can talk about it. You might not like what I have to say, but I feel we can talk about it. So Young Blue says, I do love music. Yes, you do, and that's good. You know, before I start the show, let me say this real quick, Young Blue. I think that you have a healthy obsession with music because every time we talk, you're always creating something. And I think that if you want to be good at anything, I think you have to have a healthy obsession to music. Thank you for smashing that heart, Young Blue, or to whatever, I'm sorry, to whatever it is you want to do. You know, if you want to end bullying, you have to have a healthy obsession about it. It's got to be something you eat, sleep, and dream about every day. You just don't let your health suffer. Don't let friendships suffer. You know, if you have a friend that might disagree, say, okay, I agree to disagree, and leave it at that, and don't turn it into a huge argument. But you have a healthy obsession for it, and I think that's great. So, good job. Keep up the good work. All right, so let's get to our first video.
Let's get to the sponge of the cake and really discuss the matter and why all this stuff finally came to a head and finally came to realise at Cronulla. This has been going on for years. Everyone that says that this has not been going on is living in La La Land. I mean, it's time to come out of La La Land and really address the issue so we can solve the issue.
You're saying racism on both sides?
Both sides of the fence is racism. The Australians used to call us wogs. We used to go to the beach. I've been in this country for many, many years. We used to go to the beach and we used to get scared to go to the beach on our own. That's when we started going in groups. And that's when they started hating us. We helped each other when the Australians came and fought against us. And this is how we got this reputation as having been a gang. We're no gang.
For the past 20 minutes, me, myself, and a few friends have sat back listening to the older generation point the finger at religion, race. It's got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, it's the parents are bringing up these kids with a lack of respect and tolerance. On both sides it is, the attitude and the behaviour absolutely sucks. That's where the problem is. It's not in race and religion. We can live with that. We're all friends. It's about the lack of respect and tolerance.
Lady in front, what do you got to say?
As a 17-year-old living in southwest Sydney, we can walk to school 5 days a week. We can get stopped. Three out of the 5 days get harassed for being Australian walking to school.
I'm Lebanese and I'm Muslim and I also get harassed. So it's not just the Aussies. I really, really get angry when Aussies think that they're targeted just because they're white. That is not true. All women get harassed. All women get harassed. All women get harassed.
It's nothing to do with race, nothing to do with religion. It's all to do with behaviour and the lack of parenting.
What we're talking about here tonight is a gang of totally uncontrollable youth who are creating enormous trouble throughout Sydney and have done so for a long, long time. I was in the North Cronulla Surf Club on Wednesday the 7th and witnessed a bashing far more violent than anything you've shown here tonight. Now, the Cronulla people realised they were totally isolated. They've been bashed and put upon for years with no police protection.
All right, that's enough of that one. So, I got another one for you guys. So, let's talk about this. First, I think the key part of all this is that, yes, guys, we need to listen to women. Women on both sides are saying they're being harassed. And I think a lot of the majority of this riot was because people were being harassed. And Blue, what I said before was, yeah, go ahead, send me your song. And I think it's important that we listen to the women and that we listen to both sides. There is a lot of blaming going on, as one of the people said on this video. I think the one important thing to end racism, that would end racism, is holding people accountable. That right there. Just like bullying. And it's just like bullying. Racism, in my opinion, is just like bullying. I think a lot of the bullying occurs because in certain countries it's not okay to bully someone because of their race. People are kind of maturing a little bit. Some people are not. Some people are maturing. And so they decide to bully someone. And it's the same as bullying. If you hold a person accountable, then I think it would end a lot of bullying. That's my opinion. Hold on, I got a text. All right. I'm sorry. I wanted to send that to Blue, and there he is. Okay. So Blue sent it. So while we're talking about this subject, and please, Blue, chime in with your opinion, because you are the youth, you are the future. What do you think about what racism is? How can we get rid of it? Pico, how you doing, Pico? So how you doing, Pico? So Pico's gonna definitely give his opinion on what he thinks about the racism, but I think that we could solve a lot when it comes to racism if we hold people accountable. Okay, so you're listening to the music of Young Blue. Thank you, Young Blue, for providing the music. Heather XOXO, thank you for joining the show. You guys missed a great video that I played. Let me go through a little bit of it. The main important part of that whole video that I just played is what the women said. Each woman from both sides are both being harassed, and I think that is true. Women from both sides are definitely being harassed, and it's time to listen to the women and start fixing that. Let's see. Pico says, I don't like when people hating on Chinese. People think that in China, life is like North Korea. Yes. I know it's you, Yamala. How are you doing? Nice tune, by the way. Thank you again to Young Blue. When I was talking, P5, thank you, P5 Valerie, thank you for joining the show. When I was talking to Young Blue earlier today, I wanted to bring up a point because I recently had a person that I thought was a good person who turned out not to be a good person. The other day, he said that he got the coronavirus, and he said that instead of saying I got the coronavirus, he said I got the Kung flu. Now this guy is a person who is a martial arts teacher. I don't think he's white, or if he is, he's half white and half something else. But I think whether he's white or whatever race he is, it doesn't matter. I should have not brought that up. The point is this: he is a martial arts teacher, but yet he went around and used the term kung flu, which is basically a call to harass Asian people, all Asian people, even if you're Hawaiian. You know, it's not just limited to Chinese, and people like that are getting harassed because this guy. I mean, not only because this guy, but then this guy chooses to use the word kung flu when he's telling it on Facebook that he's got the coronavirus, when he makes his money off of the Asian culture. And I think that's horrible. And this person is no longer a person I look up to. I can tell you that right now. Let's see. Pico says, I visited China. It's far different. Why was the news depicted? China is like Singapore. It's big. I'm not spreading propaganda. It's just based on my experience. Okay, that's very, very, very good point there. I don't know what it's like in China. I hope that China is a place I get to visit sometime before I leave this great planet. What I know of it, yeah, it's communist. But I'm not gonna say it's bad. I just because it's communist doesn't mean it's bad. It's possibility. Because you read so much negative things about, I know I have friends that are born in Cuba. Oh, it's not communist. It's not a communist country. Okay, cool. I'm getting schooled today. What type of country is it? Is it democratic? What type of country is it? I was under the assumption that it's communist, and that's why I'm treading very, very, very carefully because I've never been there. I don't know, and I know that all too often people get stories wrong, and these are stories that I'm hearing from other people. So I don't know. I don't know. A socialist market. Okay, let me ask this: can you vote? Can you vote for who you want to be in charge? Or is it decided? And if it's socialist, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it means that funds are, the wealth is spread. And I've seen pictures, it doesn't really look like the wealth is spread out there. I don't know. You can vote. Okay. You can vote. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on China because I don't know that. But that's all very good points. So, let's look here at the second video, and then we'll discuss this video.
You're standing on the soil that has been fought for by Australian Anzac diggers. This is what our grandfathers fought for, to protect this so we can enjoy it. And we don't need these Lebanese and the Arabs to take it away from us. You're not welcome. This is our land. Get the hell out.
These are photos of the riots. I think there was more. I'm sorry. There's a comedian that comes on after. Okay, so one thing about this video, this part of the video, that really, really upsets me, is you got this big guy and someone else saying that if you don't like it here, get out. If you don't like it here, get out. I was told that a lot when I was a carrier for the United States Postal Service, and I would speak up against the wrongful things that were going on at the United States Postal Service. And people would tell me, well, if you don't like it, you didn't have to apply for this job. You can get out. That's not the answer. That's a cop-out, first of all. And second of all, when it comes to countries, like Australia and America, you can't tell someone get out in a place that you push someone else out. I'm sure that the indigenous people of Australia and the indigenous people of America wanted you to get out, 1600s, whenever it was that you came. I'm sure they wanted you to get out. They were saying, hey, you don't like it? We don't do business like that here. You don't like it? Get out. No. I'm sure they said that, and what did you do? You just took it from them. So these type of people really really piss me off. I'm gonna straight up tell you, these kind of people really piss me off. They get out type of people. You don't like it, get out. This isn't your land to say get out. It belongs to the people that were there before. So, and you robbed it from them. So, how can you tell someone else then who's trying to come for a better life to get out because you don't agree with them? That's the first thing. And like I said, when you see people like this having these type of hate speeches, we need to hold them accountable. We need to hold them accountable because, I don't know what it's like in Australia with freedom of speech, but I can speak of America. And freedom of speech is not saying get out. You don't like it, get out. Freedom of speech is not saying, a race of people are rapists. That is not freedom of speech. That's hate speech, and hate speech needs to be terminated. And if you hold those people accountable, put them in jail, hold them accountable, not just a fine, because a fine's not gonna do it. Take their freedoms from them. You will see that a lot of it will stop, I think. Let's see. Pico says socialist is like Sweden, Finland, and Singapore. Okay, I don't support CCP. Okay, I never interested in politics. I think when you're young, you're like never interested in politics, and as you grow up, you start to learn that it's important to watch who we put in office, and who we vote for. I only have time for work. Okay. HEMA sports and fencing sports. Yeah, that fencing. How's that fencing going for you? That's awesome. Young Blue says I didn't push anybody's out. What do you mean I didn't push anybody's out? I don't understand what that means. But let me see if I have another song from you. I'm gonna play the first song over because I think it was great. Thank you so much again for letting us play your music, Young Blue. Again, if you have a song, if you need a song, hook up with Young Blue Music, youngblue.music on Instagram, guys. Let's see. Pico says that he's half Chinese and half Japanese. Yeah, I remember you telling us that. Excuse me, guys, on a previous show. Oh, let me also say that I have the dogs here with me, so you might hear a little snoring. It's not me. You might hear a little farting. It's not me. And hopefully they won't break out into a fight. They broke out into a fight earlier before the show started, and I think I kind of squashed that. So let's see. When I told people I'm Japanese, they are good with me. When I tell people I'm Chinese, they start attacking me. That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. Right now, this is not a racist thing, what I'm about to say. Right now, because of COVID, Asians in general are not looked at as good, and that's a shame. That's not right. We should not do that. Let me say that. And even more Chinese. I hear a lot of Chinese businesses are doing really bad because people don't want to eat at Chinese restaurants for fear that they'll get the flu, which is, I mean, the COVID, which is horrible. Let's see. Young Blue says, I didn't push anyone out of America. No, no one's saying you pushed anybody. What do you mean? No, you did not. But American history, unfortunately, Young Blue, they did a lot of negative things to the American Native Americans. A lot of negative things to them, and they continue. Who would fool them? They continue to do negative things, taking more of their land, and so it's okay, to say for me to say as an American, there's been some negative things that we have done. It's not good to say that wasn't me, or ignore that it happens. There has been some negative things done in American history. I'm going to assume, based on my conversations with my Australian friends and a couple of films that I have seen, the same thing that happened in America happened in Australia. The taking over and stuff like that. And it's part of history, and we shouldn't forget it, and we should learn from it, and really, really, really start focusing on how to make it better, And most recently, the past administration of America did some pipelines through Native American land, and I think that enough has been done to them. Enough has been done to the African American community, and I think it's time to start taking care of these people and embracing them. They are part of American history. I've heard a lot of people say that, Africans and Native Americans are not part of American history, and they are. They truly are, and we have to understand that. Let's see. Pico says Young Blue isn't white, he's human. That's right. Exactly. A bunch of people came in. Black Maple, thank you for joining the show. Now let me see what else do we got here. I am feeling Sean Dynasty. You're feeling Sean Dynasty. Awesome. Let's see what else. Fun fact. Oh, thank you for the fun fact, Pico. In China, you can access YouTube and other apps legally if you have a VPN application. VPN is for changing internet service. Yes, I use a VPN because I can't get American shows. When I open up my Netflix account, it shows Netflix Italy, and in order to see American shows, I need to use a VPN. So I do use that as well. Bali, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, China, in the Middle East, they all use the VPN. Yeah, I remember when we were in Indonesia and Malaysia, and we wanted to use Netflix. The guy's house that we were staying at, he said he had to use a VPN in order to do that. Let's see. There's no button. What do you mean there's no button, Blue? There's no hot button. By the way, smash that hot button whether you're watching this live or in the recorded version. Let's see. Pico says Chinese possession of YouTube, Netflix, Google, Facebook is legal in China. Oh, okay. Because I think we were told that they don't have the right to that. Then why was the protest? Remember, there was a protest in Hong Kong. And my battery's going low, guys, so I have to close this show up. But one last question: why was there a protest, Pico, in Hong Kong, where they played the one of the South Park videos in the center of town? Maybe that might be a question we might have to save for next time. But let's see. Just to close it up here, let's see. We got, it looks like my internet is going away. Internet in Italy is not that, well, at least the area that I'm at. They say that they need to fix certain things, so my internet might go down. Let's see. It's just they don't have server towers in China. Oh, okay. For a question button. Oh, the question button's gone. I don't know. I don't know why it's not up. There's no question button. I think he's having application trouble. Do you see a question button, Pico? It's because Hong Kong is never went to China, and they think China is like North Korea. I gotta find out what's the truth about that, because yeah, I hear, and I'm not saying that it's true what I'm hearing, but I hear a lot of negative things when it comes to China, as far as I've seen some pictures where people are living extremely poor, extremely poor. So if it's a socialist and everybody's supposed to be sharing that money, there shouldn't be any poor people in China at all. As far as I'm concerned, they should all be the same if they're socialists. Okay, you do have a button. I thank you guys for coming on. I'll try to do the show this time again. What is it? It's 4 o'clock we started the show. I'll try to do the show 4 o'clock on our time zone here in Italy, because I really enjoyed talking with you guys, going back and forth with you guys. I thank you for watching the show, guys. I want to remind you that live feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher, thebullyexposed.com. And remember, anyone can wear the crown, anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another, and have a great day. Bye now.